You can't see the countdown. Welcome to the Tesla Talks podcast, folks. For the month, we're cutting it close. I think we cut it close last month too, in February. But this is the month of March 2022, and thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for tuning into. I gotta admit, this is like a last minute podcast. I could have done a podcast last week. I could have done one the week before. Well, maybe not the week before. That was March break, but I could have if I wanted to, if I really tried. But I kept putting it off, and I put it off for this reason and this reason only. And what we're going to talk tonight about is the FSD Beta, how it came to Canada. I mean, like I said, we could have talked about it, how we were thinking we were getting it and thinking we were getting it for the last month. And it turned out to be almost exactly a month to the day, did it not? From when the score, or I guess the scoring came out to now. Let me introduce my guest, and then we'll get right into it. And we'll go from there. Like I said, this is a special episode of the Tesla Talks podcast. This is going to be the FSD Beta Canada episode. So we're going to talk everything FSD, everything about the beta, everything about the score. If you guys have any questions, like I said, if I had planned this days before, I would have went out on social media and got people, if they had questions, to leave it in an email, leave it in comments or something. We would have fielded them tonight, but unfortunately, I couldn't do that. So we're going to wing it tonight. We're just going to have to wing it. So starting on my top left, I don't know if it's your top left if you're watching at home or if you're listening. It could be anywhere if you're listening. We have Dan from Northern Tesla. Welcome to the show again, Dan.
Thanks, Dax. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Thanks for taking your time. It's like I said, it's a last minute podcast. I also would have given more notice, and it's a later time than usual. I know some people said that might be too late for them, and I apologize due to scheduling and everything. This is the only time slot that I have available, so I apologize to my East Coast people where we live here. That if it's too late for you, I apologize. The West Coast people must love it, and the Central guys, because it's earlier for them. But let me finish introducing everyone. There's only one more person to introduce, and his name is Franklin, the hashtag FSD Beta Canada King. I added the king part at the end. Welcome, Franklin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
I see you're busy in the chat already.
Yeah, of course. I always interact.
Jason and Dana and Hockey Day and all those guys and girls. That's good. Thanks for doing that. Oh, and Spencer too. And I can keep going up there. There's Huggy Bear and Stevie and Gary.
They're asking what I'm going to tweet about now.
Julio. Yeah.
For those who don't know, let's do a quick background here.
Yeah.
October 23rd, the beta was released for the US. October 24th, I started a daily meme for FSD Beta Canada with like the whole hashtag. And you fast forward to today, it's like a suggested tag on Twitter. It's not like just me using it anymore. It's everywhere. People having their names, they're tagging it. It's like an actual thing.
Yeah, it really took off. And you had that like meme thing going. You had a little streak going for, I think, 200 days?
Probably about 200 days, yeah, before I lost.
Yeah. Lost the drive, the will to live.
I still did them like randomly afterwards, right? But
not consistently like you were.
It gets really hard to be creative around 200.
Buddy, you don't have to tell me. I am no, poster child of creativity myself. You've seen my videos, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're not supposed to agree with me. No, I'm just kidding.
So we have hashtag Tesla Insurance Canada, hashtag Tesla Solar Canada, hashtag Giga Canada.
Giga,
We have a couple options.
Yeah.
I like Jay's of FSD Beta Toronto Downtown.
No, yeah, Jay's was funny, the downtown one. I'll have to say, though, honestly, I don't know if I like and we could talk about this if you guys want. It is related to the beta and the scoring, but I don't know if I like the Insurance Canada one, because I've always been, since they started rolling it out in California, and then onto the few states. What they got maybe half a dozen states now. The Tesla insurance. I don't know. I like most things Tesla, not everything. Most things Tesla. I am critical in some areas, and this is one of them. It's just if the safety score is any indication of the insurance rating way, and from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that is how they're using it. That is similar, if not the same system that they're using.
So it's out in, like you said, a dozen states. Only about 6 of those states are using the safety score as a metric for doing your premium.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then if whatever your premium is, it won't go higher. So let's say you're an awful driver, you have a safety score of like 80, you're not going to pay any extra. But if you have like 100 or higher, you will pay less. And I've heard you're paying like $60 less a month.
Oh, okay. And is it that dynamic that it's monthly? Like it fluctuates monthly?
So it will tell you what your premium is going to be for the next month based on your current safety score.
Now, okay, that doesn't sound bad in theory. Now, what I'm wondering is if you said there's a max, there's a cap. You can't pay more than that. But if you're consistently doing bad, come renewal time at the end of the year for next year, can they reevaluate your premium then?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would guess so. I'm assuming. But I know that's how traditional insurance is.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's been a whole year yet, so.
That's your takeaway, Dex? He said us 80 as a bad safety score. That was my takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't even. No, you know what? You're right. I didn't even clue into the number.
Given what we know about the safety score and how ridiculous it is, it is kind of worrisome. But
80 would be hard to get.
Did you see my?
I've seen it.
Did you see my open challenge in our local Discord? Okay, so if you're in Toronto and if you have the beta already, that's the only way it'll work. But if you get a 50 kilometers or more in a day, that's the only way I'll qualify it. You have to have a safety score of 69 for any given day over 50 kilometers, and I'll buy you a dinner.
Oh,
that's nice and childish of you. Yeah, okay.
But it has to be exactly 69 for the whole entire day of over 50 kilometers.
I hate to even ask, but do we know what it takes to get 69?
I don't know.
Probably a lot of forced disengagements and some forward collision warnings.
I'm curious. Does anyone know? Has anyone posted on social media the lowest score?
Yeah. The very first day it came out, Brian, I won Tesla. He had a safety score of 1 because he had his car on the track. He had his car on the track, and he had a safety score of 1.
Of course, Brian did that. That's funny.
Why are we talking about safety scores? That's done.
No,
saying the safety score is BS. I live on top of a steep hill and get dinged for descending my hill. Oof. And he's right. The safety score isn't the greatest to get the beta. Let's be realistic. It's not accurate.
No.
So basically, when you're using the beta, you got to pay attention. And the safety score has no real bearing on you paying attention. Let's be realistic. There's
No, from what I understand, and let's clear the slate here before we go any further and explain to the viewers at home that may not know. My 2 guests, the guys above me in the top of the screen here, or the 2 guests that you're hearing in the audio version, they have FSD. And so they were eligible for the beta. They, did the safety score song and dance. I called it something else, but we'll say song and dance. I don't have FSD. I have basic autopilot. So I have no skin in this game, but I did follow along, as these guys can attest in our private chats. I did follow along as they were beating their head against the wall some nights. And I was there as a true friend, urging them on and giving them, encouragement and saying they're idiots and life is being sucked out of you. Stuff that friends do to other friends and lift them up. Did I not lift you guys up?
Oh, yeah,
something like that.
No, I didn't. I was trashing them any chance I got. No, I watched on the sidelines with bated breath, and it was interesting. I'm glad. I'm not going to sit here and gloat, but I'm glad in a sense that I wasn't partaking in it, but part of me was also, envious that they were partaking and it was an experience. But I just I couldn't sacrifice some of the things you guys are sacrificing. So hats off to you guys. Like, I mean, you guys are bigger troopers than I would, because I don't know if I had the beta, or sorry, FSD, or if I had my old Model 3, who knows? Who knows?
It was almost like the pandemic, right? Like, it started off 2 weeks to find the curve, and that's what we all thought. Just do your safety score for a week. You'll get the beta. Don't worry, it'll be fine. And then 1 week to turn to 2, then 3, and that point was like, it's just getting. How long are we gonna do this for?
I got it like 5
I love
days
how you
before.
equate it to the pandemic.
I got it like 4 or 5 days before you did.
Yeah, well, no, it's like 3 days or so. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, Franklin. When you got it,
Let's talk about that.
You thought within 48 hours you were going to get the button, and maybe you're not the only one. So I shouldn't
What do
say
you mean the button?
The
actual beta?
The actual beta, yeah.
No, I said 7 days because that's what they use in the States.
Was it 7 days? Okay.
Yeah, I thought
you're just thinking because he only drove for 1 day.
Oh yeah, maybe that's where. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I drove. Okay, so so there's a question.
Yeah, fess up.
I'll fess up 1 sec. There's a question. Does the safety score lower your potential, or lower safety score ruin the potential of you keeping the beta? No. There's a.
Can you imagine?
Oh yeah, there's a strike system. My score's already like. There's a strike system in place. And the car actually tells you. So Gary on the chat here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right here.
He's had 2 strikes already. 2 forced disengagements. Yeah.
I have my theories, but
okay. So I'll say it. I'll say the elephant in the room.
I'll say it too, but go ahead. You're my guest.
I think the beta is a little bit racist in terms of how it detects the driver.
I agree. Gary, you okay with us saying that we think it's racist?
I'm friends with Gary, so I hope he's okay with it.
Yeah. Gary's of Asian descent, right?
Yeah.
So your theory, I can't even say it straight. Your theory, Franklin, is
it's racist. That's it.
Yeah,
he said LOL. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, it's a racist.
It's too late now. Or never mind. I wasn't going to say the other thing. Okay. I know I should not say anything there, Dan.
No, I'm good. You guys keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. I'm talking on behalf of you guys. You guys went through the painstaking safety score, grueling safety score. You guys all started out at 100, like most people do, and then you had your ups and downs. And you had I mean, we won't go through the whole thing. And I mean, you guys made videos about how to cheat the system and stuff like that. Sorry, not cheat the system, but game the system. Not cheating, gaining, same thing. So to help out others, I know, Dan, you put together a good video on how to do that. And
it came in handy on the last day.
Oh yeah, it was clutch for you, right?
So yeah, what happened was I was driving. I was still at 100. I had 33,000 kilometers and still sitting at 100. And this was the day it came out for me, anyways, because there was a first and second wave. One was the first wave on Saturday. So this was Monday, and I had to take my kid to daycare. And I'm driving, and anyone with kids, you hear some coughing in the back.
You're a good dad.
Yeah, and you hear coughing in the back seat, and what sounds like throwing up, you get a little bit worried. So I went to pull over, and as I'm pulling over, I'm getting ready to get out of the car, and I had autopilot on. And before I took autopilot off, I took off my seatbelt. So obviously the alarms go off, and I'm thinking I got a disengagement. I'm like, oh my God, I'll never get the beta now, because that's the highest score you can get if you get knocked for that. So I was thinking, that's it, it's over. But thankfully, it's only when you're not paying attention. That's the only disengagement that count. But I did get done for hard braking. So kid was fine. I dropped him off, and then I had to drive. Thankfully, I had to drive to Toronto. So I'm on the 407, and there was one. So hard braking only counts when you're on manual and actually in the process of braking. That's how you can reverse the score. So I'm on the 407. I'm going from 90 to 120, slowing down to 90, going back to 120, back down to 90, over and over again.
Sorry, say that. How can you? The only way to reverse Hard braking score is to do what?
So if you have a hard braking on your safety score, like let's say it's 5%, to bring that percentage down before the end of the day so you don't get dinged, it's only in the process of being in manual and then in the process of braking. So you can drive. If you can drive for 5 miles and you don't apply the brakes, nothing happens. You have to be in the process of braking. So if you go from 90 to 120, you slow down. That slowing down portion counts as braking. As long as you're not doing it hard, it counts as safe braking.
How'd you figure this out?
Lots of trial and error.
Oh wow! See, I don't have time for that. So what, you just were on the highway on the 407 doing 110 and then taking your foot off the accelerator and slowing down?
Slowing it down and then going back up and slowing it down, slowing back up.
Okay.
And then I got myself back up to 100.
Isn't that like
stupid? Yes.
No. Well, that too, but isn't that dangerous on the highway?
No, it was the 407. It was empty.
407 is never empty.
It is.
That's how I got my.
Yeah, you were at 1 a.m. You don't count. I'm going to get to you in a second.
Okay, go ahead. Continue with him.
No, okay. So no, I was kidding. You can jump in anytime you want. So, but basically, then that's how you maintained it. And you were able to get it back up just before the release date on the weekend.
Yeah. So I know there's some people asking. So yeah, just regen also counts. So no brake pedal, just taking your foot off the accelerator. And you have to do it slowly because if you just take your foot right off, a hard regen will count as hard braking. So,
no way, really?
Yeah.
See, that's ridiculous. So it's our fault the way they have the regen.
Yeah. So what it is, if you drop your speed from I think 7 kilometers within a certain amount of time frame, like we're talking seconds, it's considered hard braking.
But if you just leave it in autopilot, then you won't have that issue, right? If you're coming
then you can't fix it if you get one.
Yeah, you can't get one if you're in autopilot to begin with.
Well, yeah,
right?
That's true, but you can't drive an autopilot the whole time, right? So.
Yeah, true. It's like
anyway.
Damned if it's like. I don't know. It just sounds mind-boggling. But like I said, it's harder for me to understand because I didn't experience it. So Franklin, you took the opposite, more wimpier approach, right? How did you do it?
Definitely not. I took the approach, Dax, of success.
Playing it safe?
Yeah. Up until when I didn't. So the first night we had it, I figured 7 days. That's what the US was. Elon said 7 days. I was naive. I believe the guy's timeline.
Fool.
You of all people should not believe his timeline.
I know. I've built his timelines. So I know how
I keep forgetting I got to put this ticker on. Go ahead, talk. I had this to put on the whole time.
So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I drove the first night I had it, the beta, the safety score, and I got it at I was in the first wave. I got it Saturday. Everyone else got it on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I had it a few days before everyone else. So I went out Sunday morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. One on the 407. For people that don't know, it's a toll road. And I think I spent $50 just on that one drive.
And we don't have a lot of toll roads in the Toronto area.
No, so I spent probably $50 and just driving back and forth to get my safety score up to 100 and get my 200 kilometers in. And then I opted to park my car for 1 week, and then a second week.
Oh, that's funny.
And then the third week, I started borrowing other people's cars. And
peasant.
Yeah. I ended up borrowing a friend's Tesla, which was nice because he didn't care about his safety score too much. So I still have his car actually because he's gone on a trip. So I bumped up his score, so he got the Beta 2 now. But anyway, make a long story short, I ended up going for a drive finally around the fourth weekend with my own car because I don't want to take his all the time. And I was on the 407 once again. I'm driving along and a car came to sideswipe me. Literally didn't see me at all. I shared the clip in a couple of places online. Did you guys see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So I was totally going to be sideswiped. So I ended up braking and swerving over, and that was the end of my safety score. So I dropped from 100 to 81.
Ooh.
So because you didn't want to get killed,
yep,
and you want to remain safe for your family, you got a lower safety score. Does that not make no sense at all?
I went from 100 to 81.
Oh, Jesus.
So when I parked, I was like, what the did I just experience?
Same with me. I had so I've had over 3,000, like 3,500 kilometers. And if you go back to the days, like the amount of times I had strikes or for anything, it was six times where I either got dinged for a hard brake or aggressive turning. Only 6 times in that 3,000 kilometers. And my score went from 100 down to 98 to 99. Like, even though like you'd think that's a pretty good ratio, right? But no.
Okay.
Like, it should be like disengagements. That's the only thing that should count, because that's what counts for beta.
Yeah. Well, like Gary says, I think at the end of the day, the name of the game is to keep driving. Franklin, your theory or your plan, although good in theory at the beginning, it almost came back to bite you in the ass, did it not?
No, it was fine. I had
Yeah, okay. You're saying that now in hindsight because you were sitting at home with the beta, but it was dicey. It could have.
I was never worried, Dax. Never in doubt.
Oh, you cocky. Yeah, okay. So from there, let's fast forward because I don't want to spend too much time on the score. You guys finally got what you wanted, right? And that was started rolling out this Saturday. And was it Saturday? Yeah. And it was a 2022.4.5.20. That was the actual software release. Mm-hmm. And it started coming out to you guys. Now, if I remember correctly, Franklin, you got it first, right? Out of you and Dan.
Yeah, correct.
And so we'll start with you, and I won't leave you hanging there, Dan, but I'll get to you in a second. We'll start with Franklin because he had the initial thing. What happened? Like, walk us through your from when you got it to whether you pinched yourself if you thought you were dreaming. Did you become overcome with emotions and break down and have a moment? Like, did you wet yourself? I don't know. Like, just tell me what happened.
I was excited. It was very exciting. Honestly, I wasn't that excited for the beta anymore. It was here. I was like, okay, well, it's cool. No, all jokes aside, I got the notification on my phone, went to my car, installed it. I actually sat in my car while it was installing.
Is it a long? Is it just me, or did somebody say it was a very long install?
Yeah, so the download took a while, and then the install took a while.
Yeah.
No, I meant the install.
Just to add to Franklin's, he's driven it before, right? So maybe like you haven't been that excited. Maybe that's why.
No. Don't listen to Franklin. He's obviously sugarcoating. He's dumbing it down. He's toning it down. Exactly. He was excited. He was like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So anyway, I installed the beta.
You sound like Elon there.
Have you ever seen him and me in the same room? So I installed the beta, and I went for my first drive. And actually, what I'm saying now is going to be in my next video, but with more video footage. Do you guys remember the CNN video?
Yeah.
Where we'd all been crying with him had he not gotten it.
I don't know about all, but
so do you remember the CNN video, Dan?
Yeah, where they just completely
where this reporter is trying to drive it, and he's doing one of these bad acting, overemphasizing everything and being very dramatic.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah,
for sure. But he was experiencing a lot of problems, one after another, and you'd think that he was cherry picking the problems. At least that was my take.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that it was badly edited.
Yeah, so my first 2.5 hours of driving the beta, I felt like I was recreating the CNN video for Canada. It was that bad. My car shut down. It said, it just crashed. It's like, okay, you're not allowed to use the beta anymore. And it wasn't because of I didn't get any warnings or anything. It was just I couldn't use regular autopilot. I couldn't use TAC. I didn't have emergency braking. The software just totally bugged out on my car. And I was like, okay, maybe the bugginess of it is why the beta was so poor. So I ended up power resetting my car. It didn't fix it. I did it 3 times, I believe, for it to come back. And still, it was such a bad. Like the first day I had it, I probably drove like 6 hours with it, and it was terrible. Like as my car stopped, I was making a left. My car stopped in the middle of the intersection while I was making a left, with cars coming towards me. That was pretty scary. Making rights, it wasn't doing it properly. Like everything that could go wrong did, and I was like, okay, I just spent like a year and a half like hyped up about this, and this was my experience.
Okay, well let me stop you there and ask you what was your emotions then? Like at that point, like what were your internal? What were you thinking inside? Like honestly, it's just there's not a lot of people, so you can confide in us here, a small group of people. Were you like, damn, like this is a letdown, or did you give it some kind of leeway and say, you know what, it could be this, could be that. I'll give it another. I'm just curious.
I didn't like. I still continued. That was the first day. I continued using the second day and the third day, which would be today for me.
You're glutton for punishment.
Yeah, so I wanted more punishment, which we'll get to. So do you want to talk to Dan about his first experience, and then we'll come back to day 2?
Yeah, sure. So Dan, you got it yesterday, right?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah,
Monday. Yeah, today's two. Yeah, it's yesterday, Dan. And when Frank, you got your Saturday or Sunday?
I got mine Sunday.
Okay, so in between that one day, I don't want to embellish this or anything, but correct me if I'm wrong. You were like a weeping little schoolgirl, were you not?
Yeah, pretty much.
In the group, yeah, I could
Yeah.
pull up some chat things and show everyone at home like some of the
cussing. I was the only one in the group with the 100 score.
Like that makes a difference, you fool.
Well, apparently not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got it Sunday. All jokes aside.
Monday.
Sorry, Monday. I'll be okay. You got it Monday. Go walk us through your emotional turmoil and roller coaster that you had.
So it actually turns out I was, like I said, I dropped off my kid at daycare and I went to Toronto, and because I had no idea when the beta would actually come, I messaged Franklin and met up with him, and he took me for a ride. And that was actually quite, like, other than a few little hiccups, it was actually a quite good drive compared to what Franklin had experienced before.
So you thought maybe he was lying?
Not lying, but I don't know, like maybe it was
CNNing?
not bad. Yeah, maybe he was CNNing, yeah.
That was day 2, which I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let Franklin talk about that ride, and then when I got home, like I said, I was in the dumps, in the sorrows. I was just walking my dog. And, my phone started blowing up, and I was like, "What is this?" And sure, it was the update. So I ran back home and got in my car. Now, my house is littered with roundabouts.
Yeah, I noticed that in your video.
Yeah, so that video I posted on my channel is the actual first drive. And I always, like, for me going to work, basically, as soon as I get out of my subdivision, autopilot kicks in and I can go all the way to Toronto with autopilot. So really the only thing I needed was these roundabouts in my subdivision. So if FSD Beta can handle that, then I'm golden. So I was really curious to see how the roundabouts would do. They did okay. I was surprised at how well they did. Like there's 5 roundabouts and it messed up on one of them. And then the other kind of weird thing is that it really slows down to almost stop right before the roundabout, which is weird because, if there's no cars coming, you're kind of going at a good pace, right? And so if there's any cars behind me, they'd be like, why is this guy stopping? And probably crash into me.
Yeah, that's where you get the horn.
Yeah. So none of that happened, but it was really it was pretty good. I was actually impressed.
Is there yield signs by your roundabouts? I haven't seen your video
yet.
I planned to. Yeah. So that might be why it's slowing down?
Could be.
Yeah.
So today on my second drive, when it starts slowing down, I tapped on the gas just a bit to see if it would take
the what? The what?
I would tap on the accelerator. Sorry, not the gas.
Now I have to edit this.
Yeah.
You might have one of those special converted cars.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a Tesla hybrid.
Did you see the quick tangent? Did you see a guy named Rosh Creations? He does prank videos. He got a Tesla and converted it to a gas vehicle to bring for an oil change. And the mechanic he brought it to was like, Teslas don't have oil changes. And he was like totally blown away when he brought it in.
Rich Rebuilds did that with the Model S last month or 2 months ago.
I don't know when this guy did it. I think he did it before then. But anyway, it was just a funny
Okay.
video. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue on, Dan.
Yeah, so I just gave it a little bit of a tap on the accelerator, and it seemed to go a little more smoother today. So, but either or, like these, like roundabouts is probably probably the hardest thing the FSD beta will have to do. Like stop signs and red lights, like it's you stop and then you wait till it's your turn and you go. Roundabouts, it's really an intuitive thing, and if it can handle that, it's going to be good.
Okay. Well, let's get to that. We'll hang on that last phrase you said there. It's going to be good. So, what's your opinion? And you guys can feel free to, frankly, if you want to tell me about day two and stuff like that before. But I want to know what your opinion of it is now. Like, where do you think it is? Do you think that Elon's saying by the end of the year, what do you say? The end of the year it'll be level four?
He said
Or,
robotaxi, which should be 5.
well, then he said robotaxi for 2022, didn't he?
Yeah.
Go on my tracker; it has it all.
Yeah.
Let me get to day 2, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Day 2 and then 3 because I technically have an extra day. So my first day driving, I went and picked up Dan, and we went for a ride. And that was the first ride. My car actually did things right. So I'm like complaining to Dan. I'm like, I did all these things wrong. And then I pick him up. My car's like, all right, you have someone in here? Let me show him how it actually works.
Like showing
Let
off.
me feel a wire. And then today, I've had my first drive with 0 disengagements. It was a really cool drive. But when I say 0 disengagements, I want to clarify one thing. 0 disengagements doesn't mean the car didn't mess up.
It just means it didn't mess up enough for you to take over.
Exactly. Or there was not enough traffic where I felt comfortable to see what it would do.
Oh, true.
Right?
Where you weren't impeding other people.
Exactly. So my rule of thumb is I take over under 1 or 2 situations. Either the car's going to like mess up to an extent where the car is going to be messed up, or I'm impeding the flow of traffic.
Yeah, because from everyone I've seen, all the videos and the videos you guys are making, the general consensus, which is a good thing, is we could be testing this out in the wild in the general public, amongst the general public, but we're not going to put them at risk, and we're not going to interfere with them or delay them or anything like that. We're going to be conscious and courteous of other people around us. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I agree. But I think, for most people, for most of us, we're probably like that. But I'm sure there are some people out there with a beta who aren't thinking like that, right?
Oh, I agree. I mean, that's a whole separate topic. Yeah, there's going to be people that just are a-holes. They're the type of people that take away the beta out of this equation, add something else in there. They're going to be a-holes about anything anyways, right?
So going back.
Yeah, well, you're good. Your good drive.
Yeah, so my good drive. It's interesting because I did that same drive 3 times before, 3 times prior, and it messed up at different points. And I report a lot, as much as I can. And I don't think it was fixed instantly overnight. It's not magic like that. But a lot of the parts where I reported or I took over manually and forced it to go over, it worked better. So I've managed to get down a single drive now where I can go from point A to point B, completely flawless, and I've done it 3 times.
Okay, wait a minute. So are you saying you're thinking that it's learning with every additional drive?
I don't think so. I think maybe it took a while for my car to calibrate. I look at SmartSum, and I believe my car's SmartSum is way better than any other car. And I think there's a slight calibration process that comes
internally. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Because
well, yeah, it's true. I know. I have seen your car, and it is different from others. It's like an a-hole.
So I don't know what the difference is between day 1 and 2, but it's like night and day. They're asking in the comment, literally the first day I'd say it was really bad. The second day it was better. Today it's been really good.
Yeah. So, well, you got to wonder too. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this as you're saying this because I never experienced it. I wasn't in the car with you for day one, day two, or day three. Could it be that you're now more maybe accepting of what it's doing and its flaws, or B, maybe you're more accustomed and ready for what it's doing to intervene and maybe uh, slightly correct it?
No, because it's the same
It's
routes and the car's behaving differently.
but it's the same route, or what I should have said. The third thing is, could it be the same route and everything, but under different conditions?
Yeah, traffic.
Yeah, because there's no way of controlling that, right?
No, you can't control traffic, right? It's yeah, I, like the car's definitely not learning, like
But
that
it's
quickly.
but you're saying that it sounds like it is, though. Like
It
it's
feels
improving.
yeah, it feels like it is, but it definitely isn't. Like it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
In like reality, it
a
feels
lot of
like it
people,
is.
a lot of people think it does. I mean, just with not even the beta. Take the beta out. I remember when I had my 3 and we had navigate on autopilot and even autopilot and as it matured in 2019 and 2020 and stuff like that. A lot of people, you know what? At one point, I'll be honest, I thought so too. That it was actually learning, like besides the software updates, it was learning in between those because it seemed like it was like because you're right. There was now that I think about it, there was instances where at one intersection it crapped the bed and the next intersection it was fine. And yeah, there might have been different scenario in terms of traffic and exterior things outside of it that maybe interfered or intervened with it, but who knows? It seemed like it did, but yeah, you're right. It technically it doesn't.
It doesn't. The mistakes it makes are always the same mistakes in the same locations. So every single left turn with a left turning lane, it breaks the law. Every single time.
What law is that?
It doesn't signal to go into the lane.
And signaling their intent or their.
Well, if there's no cars behind, you don't need to signal.
Yeah, true. But was there a car behind all the time? I mean, you're driving in a day in a busy city, right?
I live in a very busy city. The car never signals to go into the turning lane. It only signals after it's in the lane.
I also find that if you're on the highway with navigating on autopilot, if your lane is ending and merging, it will wait till the last second, not signal, and just merge in. So
you mentioned
right.
Yeah, you mentioned that too, Franklin, didn't you? Even on the beta.
Yep.
Now, I remember. Even when I had FSD on my 3, but even now with just general autopilot or basic autopilot, yeah, if I'm on an on ramp and that lane is ending, and I just put on, whether I do or not put on my signal because I don't have navigate, it'll go to the very end, and it'll just as the lane tapers to an end, it'll just continue on the solid, and you know, I would obviously never wait to see like if a car was in that adjacent left lane to see what it would do, but I'd be curious to know. I just don't want to know with my car, but I'd be curious to know if it would just take the shoulder or ram the other car to move over. Don't try it at home, folks. So that happened to you. So what other things have you noticed that it's doing illegal?
It turns over into the lane too late. I'll add that one in too. Lanes that merge or like a lane that ends. I have it on video. It'll be in my next video. It was in my first video as well. It does not obey. It doesn't always obey lane endings. So literally, just keep driving like regular autopilot, and it'll just like push its way in.
Well, that's what I was just basically what I was just saying.
Yeah. Sorry, there's that one.
How's it with yellow lights or amber lights?
I've had my car go through light yellow. Let's just say that.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's a tick. I think that's a ticket somewhere, if not everywhere.
I've lowered I don't know about you, Dan. I've lowered my adjusted speed to like be the normal speed.
Yeah.
Why is it?
That's probably a good idea.
Is it too aggressive? Because I've heard it, and I remember when Franklin. I remember when we went out with that person back in the wintertime that had it here in Canada, and that was the one thing that we both agreed on. Not that we didn't agree on anything else, but that was one thing we most agreed on. That for a beta, it seemed like pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's fast. Like as soon like it makes a turn and it gets the speed up right away. Like as soon as it finishes its turn, whatever road you're on, it gets up to back up the speed right away. And you're like, no, you got to turn soon. Slow down.
Oh, really? Eh? And then what does it hammer on the brake?
No, I would use turn the speed down with the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would do what Franklin does and just lower the speed threshold a bit.
Speaking of those little tweaks, is there different settings, like degrees of assertiveness, like there is with
so I've been
Navigate?
There's what mild, average, and assertive. I've been on average. I think Franklin, are you still running assertive?
I'm on assertive now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you have it on something else before?
Average.
Do you notice any difference?
Not really. It just changes over a little bit more. The biggest difference before was how it rolls on stops, but because they removed that, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that big of a difference.
Because I remember when I had Navigate and they had the Mad Max and then the other, I forget what the other ones were. I didn't notice a huge difference between, there was, well, correct me, it's been a while since I've had Navigate on autopilot. There was Mad Max being the highest one. What was the one after that? Did it go low, medium, high?
Yeah, I think it was just like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I use Mad Max.
Well, I remember that between high and Mad Max, I never noticed any difference. Could be just me. It just could be. But I mean, some people at home may disagree. But obviously, between medium and low, I did notice a difference. But those top two settings, I never noticed a difference at all. Okay, so anyone else you guys want to give any more accounts or any independent situations that you guys have experienced that's notable?
Yeah, the left turn lanes has a habit of you think like the car thinks it's
trying to kill you.
Yeah, like it thinks like you're seeing a car coming, you're trying to make a left turn, and then the car thinks, no, I'm not. Like you want the car to stay. Like no, it's not safe. And then the car suddenly decides it wants to go, and then kind of realizes it messed up and just like sits there like a toddler, like, oh no, I messed up,
and like,
freezes. It just freezes. Like I don't know if it would keep going. But like it happened with my car, then Franklin's car as well when I was with them. And then at that point, you just take over. So I don't know what would happen if you just let it go, if we just continue on or...
You get T-boned.
I don't want to find out.
Yeah, you get T-boned. Yeah. Or, wow. So it seems like it's like, it actually like, it's hesitant to go is what you're saying? And then when it does go...
It's hesitant, then decides, and then it's been doing the lane and it becomes hesitant again.
And then it just freezes.
Yeah.
It's like one of those panic freezes. We got to get a good hashtag for that one, guys. Okay. How do you find, because I like looking at Chuck's unprotected left videos. Have you guys experienced any unprotected lefts and the creeping?
Yeah, like to get out of my subdivision, there's an unprotected left. It kind of slows, stops at the stop sign about like 5 meters back. And at that point, you can see that in my first video when I'm going out. I can't see anything coming left, and then the car will creep out, realize it's good, and then go. So that one really did really well.
Okay. Now, I did see today our buddy Paul, Electric Canuck. He did a video because he's also has it, and he did a video where getting back to what you were saying, Franklin, about the yellow lights and the red lights. It was in his video. It was pretty close. That it looked like he almost went through that red light. Definitely a yellow light, but possibly even a red light. You'd have to slow it down and go frame by frame to see if it was actually a red light. And according to Paul, it said that it looked like, or it felt like, the car was going to veer into the other car in the other lane, or not in the other on the other road itself that was turning right. He felt that it was going to crash into that, so he had to take over. Speaking of Paul and our usual other guests, Paul and Darren from Drive Tesla Canada and Paul from Electric Connect, they were going to be on the show tonight too. But like I said, because I had to make it at this particular time, they couldn't make it, unfortunately. Darren's what did he say? He's I forget how he worded it, but he's
like motion sick.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, because he's testing it out and he's finding it very jerky, and it's getting motion sick. He had to go lie down and and sleep it off. And he didn't mean drinking type of thing.
Well, it's because it's like when you stop, it rolls back, which
Does
is
it?
weird. Yeah,
Really?
like when it comes to a full stop, it rolls back slightly.
So it doesn't use hold?
No, it doesn't use hold. Well, it does use it. It stops eventually, but it like the car will go forward and then it stops, but then it slightly rolls back and then stops again.
Okay, so let me get this straight. It's not using reverse though, right? Like that's not. I heard Elon say a few months ago, reverse isn't implemented yet
No,
in a beta.
but it's just rolling back, and it's like when you're stopping at a light, it's really scary to feel your car rolling back. Like you get used to it eventually, but
It's unnerving.
like,
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I didn't get that in my car though.
I tried showing you mine, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, yeah, working on yours a little bit, but I don't know. Like, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think
Yeah,
it's a
it's
red
fine.
thing. I think only the red cars roll back. I don't think the white ones do.
I think like between the parking lots. Can we talk about parking lots?
You
Have
can
you
talk
tried it in
about-
a parking lot, Dan?
No, I haven't.
No, I learned from you. I learned from you, and I don't try it.
Oh, I can tell you a good story. I was with my cousin, showing him, and I was in a parking lot, and I figured it was late at night. It was nice and dark. The parking lot was completely empty. There was a truck parked in the parking lot. I figured, okay, let's see if the car can come out of the parking lot. And I let the car go. If I did not brake when I did, my car would have smashed into that truck. 100%. Moral of the story, do not use your beta in parking lots.
Well, getting back to Paul's video, I don't mean to dwell on it, but I saw Paul's video today, and he was in a parking lot, and his was snow covered. So I think he chalked it up as to just a car, just a roadway being covered in snow that the car just couldn't depict or measure anything, and just crap the bed on that one. But you're saying in parking lots in general, it's just not good.
Yeah.
Now, does it go right through the parking lot, like diagonally, and just doesn't give a damn?
It knows the lane.
It does? Okay, that's good.
So, like, tonight I was driving in a parking lot without it on, and it started freaking out at me because I was driving through the lane markings because the lot was, like, completely empty. And I didn't even have it on. Like, the beta wasn't even on, and it started freaking out. Like, you're driving into cars. I'm like, there's no cars here. Relax.
Did you get a strike?
No. It wasn't on. Like, I was driving.
Oh, so it has to be on for you to get a strike. It's not
Yeah.
just... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So...
So
Go ahead.
my experience with the parking lot, I went like in a row of cars and then a left to get out of the parking lot, and it did that. I think it's when you're like, me and Franklin were at the supercharger in Mississauga, and this is like one of these giant plazas with all these little side roads. I think it really struggled there, but I think if it's an easy like just end of the lot and then a left or a right, it handled it okay.
Okay. So what I was also going to ask you guys, I didn't make a list. I'm just trying to go off the top of my head here. Have you guys noticed that it's using more brake, or is it regenning more or less when it comes to stops, or is it pretty heavy stops, like hard stops?
You hear the brakes, and the brakes move a lot.
Or you can actually hear the brakes in your car? I don't hear
like
brakes.
You don't hear the actual brake, but you hear the pedal going back and forth.
The
I see
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
The pedal's like up and down, up and down.
How's it go?
Like this.
No, I didn't hear you.
Is that what you wanted?
No. Really? Okay. Because it's funny you say that, because I know exactly what you mean, because I've watched Dirty Tesla's videos, Chris, and in some of his videos you can actually hear the brake pedal. And you know what? now I come to think about it, in autopilot, when I use autopilot, when it comes to up to a heavy brake, whether it's someone stopping in front of me or coming up to a traffic light, it's sometimes when it's not technically slamming on the brakes, but when it's like slamming on the brakes, yeah, you hear the pedal sometimes. So you guys realize now, I don't want to bring this up as a sore spot or a bone of contention or anything. I'll just say it and we'll move on. You guys realize now you guys have no radar, right?
Oh, I'm well aware.
Okay, move on.
You can't go down to a single car length anymore, which I never did before.
Oh no, you can't.
Nope.
That's right. I guess yeah, because you're straight vision now.
Yep.
Which like we spoke about, who would go to a single car length?
Yeah.
Crazy.
My autopilot on the highway is limited too, so I can't go as high anymore.
Oh, that too?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, so I thought because there were separate stacks, the highway would be just the old version.
And you can't revert back. Like, I'm stuck in vision now.
What?
So how fast can you go?
130 is what I can do.
130.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You can turn. This was one of my other questions, but we'll get to it now. I was going to ask later. You can't turn off the beta?
You can, but I'll never revert back to radar. I'll still be on the vision stack.
Oh, I thought if you turn the beta off, the radar will kick back in.
No.
Did you guys say a little prayer and a little goodbye before you installed it to your radar?
No, I'm fine with radar. I've accepted it.
Yeah. Okay. Be curious to know then. So if you turned it off, so right now, if you turned off the beta and you drove, you'd be driving exactly like how my car would be then. You would get to experience all my phantom braking that I had put up with for the last few months. Now that I say that, it's actually 10 times better and it's practically gone, knock on wood. But that's interesting. I didn't know that it doesn't turn the radar back on. Okay. I think we beat that one like a dead horse. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Somebody said here, R.I.P.
Yeah. Do you want to? Okay. Someone asked about the subscription service. Really early on.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I did see that, and I forgot. I meant to. You guys were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you. Is it 134? Scart is saying. I thought it was 130, but maybe it's 134. Yeah. I don't go that speed anyways.
Subscription service and the actual price of the FSD will probably change in the next week or two, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything about the price change. But you think that will come along with the subscription?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, because I am curious about the subscription. I'd like to try it out. And obviously you guys have it, so you would have no need for the subscription. It would even come up as an option for you. Let me get back to the subscription. Okay, first of all, before we get back to it, what do you think? $250 here in Canada?
Yeah, around there.
300, $299.
I hope not. I think I was afraid you'd say that, and I think you may be right.
It's 200 in the US, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 300.
Damn. Okay. Well, you know what? It's one of those things. Like I said, even if I did get it, I wouldn't be using it throughout the whole entire year, anyways. But we'll get back to the subscription, because what I want to ask before I make my mind up with the subscription, I want to ask you guys, and obviously this is just your opinion. Everything you guys have said, all your experiences and everything on the show, I should have maybe said a disclaimer at the beginning of the show, but this is just all your experiences and your personal opinions. This isn't representing Tesla Talks or your own channels or anything. This is just your own opinion. What I'm going to ask you guys now, starting with Dan, would you two parts here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. 2 parts. First part is, out of 100, 0 being obviously terrible and 100 being excellent, what would you rate it as of now? That's part 1 of my question. And part 2 is, would you recommend it to somebody today, saying for $10,600 like it is here in Canada, would you go out and buy it? or tell someone to go and buy it?
Well, first part, like I can't really give a score because I've only driven. I haven't gone far. I've only gone to like a few locations, and they're probably pretty much the same plaza. So I didn't really drive enough of it to get a good opinion of it.
Okay, with that saying as a preface, like saying you haven't given it that much experience so far, but what you have, you could just give your score with a little asterisk, I guess.
I would say probably like an 80. Like it's good, but I'm surprised there hasn't been any crashes yet.
Franklin, he said 80. Can you believe this? Great. Okay. Well.
I'm
Sorry.
not gonna lie.
Okay.
My answer would be much lower, by the way.
Okay. We'll get to you in a second. Don't.
Well, just from what I've experienced, right? Like
Yeah.
like I said, what it's done is pretty good, and like maybe like one hiccup per drive.
You don't live in the same village as Franklin, do you?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think the test would be more like tomorrow. I'm going on the highway. I'm going to Toronto tomorrow in a few days. I think that's where the test will be of how you.
Well, no, wait. Sorry. We didn't even touch on that. You can't go to Toronto and test it.
So a certain area of Toronto is geo-blocked because Toronto has these ancient streetcars that I'll just explain to it is so streetcars on the left-hand side, left lane, therefore passengers are exiting into a live lane of traffic, which is an issue because the car can't recognize that the streetcar is stopping. But you think that like, because today I was driving and someone was walking across the street jaywalking and it stopped for them. So you think that if there was people in the live lane, the car would stop. But
no. But the thing is, when the doors open, you're not allowed to pass the car, whether people are coming out or not. And I guess the car is just not coded to know that, because the car is not coded to know what a freaking streetcar is. Because anywhere else in the world, they think streetcar. Where's a horse and buggy? Like no computer software.
That's like there's streetcars in San Francisco, so I don't know how they're operating, but
well, they get off on the left, probably, right? They probably get off in a center median,
probably
or something.
in the right lane or something. I don't know.
That's
the issue with Toronto.
So because of that, they've, like you said, they've geofenced and locked a good portion, basically all of the downtown core.
Yeah.
Of Toronto, or wherever a streetcar may roam, which I think they have no choice. I get it, but I think my issue is probably the streetcar, because I've just like, as you can hear in Dan's opinion there, in the tone of his voice, it's 2022, people. Yeah, streetcars are nostalgic and everything like that. Oh, it's all cool. Yeah, put it in a museum. There's no need for it in a busy downtown metropolis. But anyways, that's just my opinion. So getting back to the recommendation, would you tell someone today, the way it is now, with the price it is now, would you tell someone, go out and buy it? Even if you're thinking it's going to get better in the future?
That would be the only way I'd recommend it, is if it could get better in the future and the price will increase. Is if you're serious about getting it now and you really want it, then get it now so that you lock in that price. But like I said, if the subscription is coming, it might be cheaper to go that way. It's a hard, like $10,000 is a lot of money. Like I didn't pay that, so I think what I paid for is kind of like what you'd expect from it. But at $10,000, that's a lot of money, and it doesn't like. It's not there yet. Like you're not paying $10,000 for what it is now. You're paying $10,000 for what it is later.
Yeah, which a lot of people have a hard time doing, which you can't blame them. Okay, Franklin, sort of take you away from what you're doing there. I don't know, are you eating there, or are you knitting? I don't know what you're doing there.
No.
Okay, so Franklin, we're doing a podcast. It's called Tesla Talks, and we're talking about full self-driving with Tesla.
I understood. So
okay, I just catching you up
100, my score out of 100 would be a 40, and that's probably a little on the high side. And the reason why I say that is the beta's been out. I know someone said the US was experiencing the same problems and then it got better. I still have friends in the US that are still experiencing the same issues that I'm experiencing here, and they're still experiencing it there, and they've had it for like a year. So it hasn't gotten better for everybody. The car still makes a lot of mistakes for everyday driving occurrences. I'm not talking long tail, rare moment things. We're talking everyday things. Like the beta can't determine that the street's ends. It has to like turn around. It already told me like take over. I know I did one with Dan where it's like extremely weird. I'll give it a pass on that one. But I'm talking um,
like dead end sheets.
It was a dead
yeah.
end street with a Y. So
Well,
you
that
came
one was a
to a
little bit
street, then
weird.
it went like that, and there was dead ends on both sides.
And it didn't know what to do.
No.
It just gave up. Said take over. I'm out.
Yeah, it literally says take over. I can't do this. So so if you think about it, it struggles with, like, from my experience, even today on a good day, it's still struggling with lefts and rights, uh, bus lanes. It doesn't know to get out of a bus lane. It doesn't understand lane endings. There's a lot of like common occurrence things that it's still struggling with, uh, that it's not doing properly. So for to get all the long tail stuff, uh, it's a long way out. The life of my car will like I won't. The life of my car will be like my car will be gone well before we get anywhere near true full self driving.
Okay.
And part of the reason for that is because the data they're collecting, people always talk about data and they're looking at it wrong. Neural networks need truth for the data that they're collecting, and they have to manually determine whether the data they're collecting is good data or bad data, and what the data actually represents. So to make it a little bit easier, if you took like 100 people from my city to drive, and we have like some of the worst drivers across Canada.
How dare you?
Hey, I drive here too, so it could be me. I'm a terrible driver. The I'm not. I don't think I am. The my point being is you have 100 drivers.
Yes.
You have 100 drivers, and you're collecting data from 100 bad drivers. What's the good of that data, right? And that's not to say it's true, but
crap in, crap out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, in programming, it's an expression called garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, but I'm not a programmer.
Yeah, and that's my point, right? They need to have truth to that data, and I feel like they're not at that level yet. Like no neural network truly works that way at this day and age. So eventually, when they get to that point, then you'll see advancements really quick. But they're not going to get that this year. They're not going to get that next year. I say that with high level of confidence. So is it cool? Yes. Is it fun? It can be. Not the lefts. The lefts are really scary. But
the roller coaster scary.
It's half parts exhilarating, half parts just insanity.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a roller coaster.
It's just terrifying.
And then, like, part of the problem is it rolls out too far sometimes, and other times it doesn't roll out far enough, right? So anyway, that's my 40. For it to get even higher, it has to just do better on everyday stuff. Would I recommend it to someone? If you enjoy like leading edge technology, like you want to have the latest and greatest, and you want to try things, and you want to be like the first to try some really cool new tech, 100% I recommend it. If you're not into tech and you just like want to get from point A to point B, save your $10,000. You're still getting a really electric car. Autopilot is amazing. Like just standard autopilot, fantastic. It works really well.
Yeah, they really nailed that down pretty good.
Yeah. So like I speak super highly of autopilot, but the beta is just not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I have a lot of friends who are asking about Tesla, if their commute's mostly highway, then you got to use autopilot. Like you don't need FSD for that.
Okay, so I'm wondering now, with everything I've seen up to now, and from what you guys are saying, I'm wondering, getting back to this subscription thing. Oh, before we do that, let me just, where was it? Someone, I think Jay had said, San Francisco streetcars have dedicated lanes for their streetcars. So That was the difference. I just wanted to.
Yes, there is one path in Toronto where it is a dedicated streetcar, and I believe the beta works on that street.
St. Clair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is dedicated.
Yeah.
and it's a
let's
night.
not get into the it's
Yeah,
awful,
the
but
politics and that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, and it actually works on St. Clair?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh,
I
interesting.
will test it out later this week.
Yeah. I think I know where you're talking about. Yeah, you should let me know. Okay.
One last comment I want to mention because it was just brought up. I would settle for the visualization now. So this is something I've had a beef with. In 2019, 2020, Christmas of 2020, we got the holiday update, which gave us the FSD Beta, FSD visualization, early preview. They have to update that. We have to get the real visualization. So even if you don't have the beta, you should be able to see everything the card determines or detects.
Mhm.
Well, in all fairness to them, Franklin, not to be an apologist of Tesla, but I think at the time in 2020, that was what they were thinking. I don't think they thought of what they're doing now, what they call now the car's mind's eye or whatever they call it now. I think they just came up with this last year, didn't they? I don't think
but the first one was like these blocks and triangles and stuff.
Yeah, that was distracting. I'm glad they got rid of that.
But that was a solved problem in 2017.
I'm sorry?
It was a solved problem back in 2017.
I'm not hearing what you're saying.
It was a solved problem back in 2017.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure it was. So, what were we talking about? Yeah, so getting back to the subscription, I was anticipating, looking forward to maybe, when the beta did get released, I knew that you couldn't get the subscription before the beta was released. So I was waiting for the beta to release, obviously for you guys, for your sakes, and so I don't have to hear you whining and complaining in the chat every single day. And then obviously for the subscription to come out and think, I'll get the subscription for like July and August, the true 2 months of summer that we have here in Toronto. And then that's it. But I'm wondering now, like Dan touched on earlier, like if you have basic autopilot, which is what I have, and yeah, I've got to put my turn signal on and come out of autopilot to make a lane change. I've gotten so accustomed to that, and it's not a big deal for me. It's like I don't know if paying $250 to $300 a month for the car to make a lane change for me on the highway, and the car to stop at traffic lights and stop signs is worth it. I don't know. I'd have to really think hard. I mean, with that said, I would probably do it to try to see what the procedure is and do a video on it just to show everyone else at home, like how easy it is or maybe how cumbersome. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they'll adopt how easy it was in the States. Here in Canada, maybe there's more to it. We'll see. But would I continue to use it? I don't know. And then of course you have Smart Summon, but that's a party trick, right?
I tried Smart Summon today, and it was a little like it is kind of getting warmer here, and we know in Canada it slows down when it's cold, but
yeah,
it was a little better than usual, I have to say.
Have you tried it yet, Franklin? Because you're pretty proficient with it.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I did actually tonight a little bit, but you can't.
It's still cold, so it's still nerfed, right?
Yeah, it was traveling 2 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, and what is it? 7 degrees before
3 degrees.
Yeah,
3 degrees. Okay.
I believe it's 3. Yeah, at 3 degrees it drops. Over 3, it's at like I can get mine around 11 kilometers an hour.
Okay, so Thursday today to try it, guys.
Yeah. Dan, you want to meet up? We'll do some Smart Summon racing.
Yeah.
You guys say that every time you guys meet up, not you two, but anyone I know that said, "Oh, we'll do Smart Summon race." Problem is, the cars never go in a straight line. Whenever you guys, you line up the cars perfectly to go in a race, and then when you press your buttons, they do this.
Yeah, and one backs up and one does something else.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's ridiculous. Or they think they're going to hit each other, so one breaks and then the other one breaks, and then they hit. It's like typical Canadian cars, right? Oh, sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Not mine.
No, except for yours.
Mine cuts other cars off in the races. Mine will just
Yours is rude. And I don't want to say rude, like, okay. So, I didn't. Sorry, Franklin. Did you say you'd recommend it if you were on like you said, if you
want a cutting edge technology, you want
and you're
the latest and greatest
beta stuff? Okay.
Yeah, correct. Like, I love technology. If there's someone like me, I'd say, yeah, go for it. A regular driver, no.
I got a question for you. Okay. I'll ask a question before I ask my question. Do you mind? I'm putting you on the spot here. I apologize, Franklin. Do you mind me telling people at home, or you telling the people at home, what you paid for FSD?
Sure. So at the time, I had to buy enhanced autopilot, so I spent $5,000 on that. Plus, I spent $2,800 on FSD because I got a deal.
Okay, so you got.
In total, I spent around $8,000 to get FSD.
Okay, well, I remember when on my 3, I got the enhanced right off when I purchased it, so that got sunk into the payment, so I didn't even notice it that badly. But yeah, I think many people took advantage. I mean, I didn't notice it at the time, but I think tons and tons of people took advantage of that sale the Tesla had at the time when it was like 2,600, and then with taxes, it came to like 28 or 29. So I think a lot of people, including myself on my 3, I took advantage of that too. Because it wasn't half price, wasn't it like 5,000?
Yeah.
Or something, here in Canada. So here in Canada, it turned out to $2,600 plus your applicable taxes wherever you lived. And like I said, a lot of people took advantage of that. My reason for asking that is what you paid for it and what you're seeing today in FSD. Because let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, like I said earlier, the street light recognition and stop signs and auto lane change on Navigate, on autopilot, that's all fun and everything. But when we heard for years now, including today, when we hear full self-driving, we think of the car driving itself. And a little bit of what we're seeing here with the beta. So what I'm asking you is, would you have even paid, or do you think the $2,600 or $2,800 that we paid, what's close to 3 years ago now, would you pay that for what we're getting today? Or would you I know you would, because you're one of those people like you described where the cutting edge and stuff. Would you recommend it to the average normal person for that price even?
Like if they had to buy it at that time, no.
No. Today, if there was a sale,
no.
I know that sale will never come back, but
no, I don't
if it
think
ever
so.
did,
nope.
No, you know what? I probably have to say the same thing, and that's why I wanted to ask you. So I was curious to know. Dan, would you ask me the same question? Would you
no,
say to your best friend?
I think he's priced it out of range for the lifetime of the car.
Out of his mind.
That being said, like, you're paying $10,000 and like you might not get the full benefits in the lifetime of your car, right?
Like what Franklin said,
yeah, exactly. Like I think if unless you had the option to transfer it, then I think 10,000 is probably worth it if you could transfer it from car to car. But at this point, you got to think about like how long you're going to drive your car for, right? And it's not there now. It's not there. It's not going to be there in about 4 or 5 years.
Well,
full self-driving, anyways.
You don't think you're going to have your cars in 4 or 5 years, guys?
No.
Because it won't last, or you think you'll just move on with better technology because it's this type of tech is like computers where it's constantly growing?
Well, either or, right? Like if you go tire your car gets high. Like I already have 80,000 clicks on mine. Or if you get in an accident or something happens to your car.
Yeah,
heaven forbid.
Anything can happen to your car. You can have it like in an accident. You can have it robbed. There's a lot of possibilities.
It could even burn down to the ground. God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be careful with those non-flamethrowers, right?
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's okay. So, and with that said, you would just get the subscription at that point, or would you? Because God knows how much it's going up to from here. I have a feeling it'll go up to 13.
Yeah, it'll go up
before
13,
taxes.
Sure.
There's another good thought. Like they should bring back enhanced or sell each feature individually. I don't know if they'd ever sell each feature individually because it'd be hard to value each one. let's say Smart Summon, for example. That's a party trick. No one in the right mind would pay any money for that.
No,
Uh,
not as
I
first
don't
state.
say I wouldn't say anybody,
well,
but I know what you mean.
yeah. But
But
enhanced
like,
autopilot makes a lot of sense. But the problem is with enhanced would be the most enticing. No one would buy FSD.
Well,
Like I
and
would
that's
buy
why,
enhanced.
and that's why they will never bring it back because they know they would kill FSD sales. But I totally agree with you. If they had that tomorrow, who was it that I was talking to? Was it Paul? No, it was somebody else I was talking to within the last couple of days that they said they had they had enhanced autopilot on their car. It was a Y. It was an early Y. Oh, it was Rob. High mileage Rob. He was saying his uncle or something bought a Y. Not when the Ys first came out, but within that earlier stage, I guess you could say. And at the time, and I don't remember this. So, I mean, not to call Rob a liar. I don't think he's lying, but refresh my memory, guys. Rob said that enhanced autopilot was still offered back then for 5,000.
I
Do
don't
we
know. So
remember?
I bought my car before the Y came out, and it was FSD at that point.
And they had it was FSD or basic, right?
Yeah,
It
like
was,
the Y had just been announced, and it was still straight FSD.
yeah, I don't remember enhanced being around for a long, long time, unless it came back for like a very short period of time and offered it to only a few people and then got rid of it again.
I
I
think
don't remember.
it did come back for a short period of time.
It did.
Definitely did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was bugging
Oh,
Ryan to buy it.
maybe that's. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Now that you mention Ryan, I do
Yeah,
remember that now.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I do remember that, and it was like for like a month maybe.
So Dana has a question. If you knew it would take this long, would you have bought it anyway, way back when, for the same price, knowing what you know now? Would you have bought it
Very
then?
good question, Dana. Dan, stop
Would I
looking at
buy
Dana's
it?
picture.
I don't think so. I think so. When I bought the car, I have an SR Plus, and I was debating whether to get long range. And at the time, the difference between long range and Standard Plus was pretty much the same as FSD, and I went the FSD route. I
Interesting.
think in the like right now, it'd probably be more beneficial with a long range. But at least now we have it, so now at least now I have some sort of satisfaction of at least I did pay for something that I did get. So, but yeah, it'd be a hard decision to make.
Franklin?
I mean, if we're talking only FSD, because I only spent 2,700 on it, forget enhanced autopilot. Sure, I would buy it again. But I don't know. It's tough. I wouldn't jump at it. I think I'd probably want the subscription service over the straight out value that I paid. Like I feel like I didn't get good value for my money.
Okay.
The one thing I
What?
consider though is if I sell my car tomorrow, I'm selling an SR Plus with FSD Beta on it, right? So that the value of my car just shot up, right?
No,
Mm,
No,
unfortunately.
you don't think?
I don't look at it that way. I tend to agree with Franklin. It's good to say on paper, knowing what we know, but you think a lot of people are going to see that as that kind of plus, or is it just because we're highly into this ecosystem? Like
From
we're an anomaly. We're not
from
normal.
from my research, you'll get about 5 to 6,000 for your FSD currently. So if you spent more than that, you're still losing. If you spent less than that, you're gaining. So I'm probably up
Yeah.
about 3,000 for FSD. But my car is also less value.
Yeah, you know you got to be careful too because when you buy these cars from whether they're resellers, and I'm not talking Tesla. Tesla's obviously be more official and stuff like that. You got to be careful what you get. I have a colleague that I work with. When he bought his Model 3, he didn't buy it from Tesla. He bought it. It was like basically brand new. It was. I don't even know how this. It was a dealership, and I don't know how they ended up with it. It was basically brand new. It had like 100 or maybe 200 kilometers on it, so it was new, but it was class as a used car, and it said in the spec sheet and everything online that it had a full self driving and everything. And he was asking me, how do I know for sure? Because they're saying it does, and their price was reflecting it. I was telling him little things to check on the screen, and I remember asking you guys because I don't have FSD, and I was trying to remember what it would say. So I was asking you guys to help. Anyways, he got the sales guy to take pictures of the screen and stuff like that, and he would take every picture but the one that I wanted him to take. So I said, buddy, I'd be very careful. I'd be very careful. And he's like, well, listen. He says they told me if it doesn't, because they're not 100% sure themselves. They're assuming it did, but they were very honest. They said, you know what, we're not a Tesla dealer. This car is like an alien spaceship to us, so we're not 100% sure. If it doesn't, if you find out and you let us know that it doesn't, and we agree with you, then we'll take it off the price that we're suggesting. So they ended up taking it off. But what I'm saying, long story short, is you got to be careful, because if you don't know what to look for and you don't have advice from some friends or people that are in the know, you could end up paying for something that you don't even know that you don't have. So
yeah,
be careful. Okay, I think we beat that FSD horse to death. I think you guys are very insightful. Thanks very much for giving us your first account of FSD. You know, it would be very interesting a year from now to get you guys back on and play back little snippets of this episode and compare to see if you still have the same opinion, or to see what progress has been made, or to see if our cars are driving us around.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I think we kind of covered everything possible.
Yeah, I think you did. Thanks very much. It was funny. I just mentioned there our car may be driving us around. I was watching some Tesla YouTube video today where they were talking about full self-driving. Sorry, they weren't talking about. They were talking about level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, all the different levels of autonomous driving. And they were talking about Mercedes, how they're releasing a level 3, supposed to be certified level 3, and then they talked about how it's geofence and stuff like that, but I don't want to get into that. Anyways, my 10-year-old son was sitting on the couch watching this and listening to the same thing, and he's like, really, the car will drive fully by itself? Because they started talking about level 4, and I said, yeah, level 4, it'll drive by itself. He goes, and then I said to him, level 5, you don't even need someone in the car. And he was like, you can see him, the young brain just like imagining, and you could see the light bulb going off in his head. And he paused for a second, and then he said, you know, so if I wanted to get like a McDonald's cheeseburger, I could just tape a debit card to the window and have my phone on there on speaker and send it to the drive-thru of McDonald's and talk to the lady at the drive-thru, order it, and then when I get up to the window, she could just like tap the card. And I'm like, yeah, like he thought of this all on the fly, and he thought like, this is amazing. And I said to him, you know what, buddy, this will all be in your lifetime. It may not be in ours. Who knows? I'm maybe aging myself, but it'll definitely be in his lifetime, right?
We already had that. Uber Eats.
Well, and this is what I said. I said, your car is just turned into an Uber Eats car because you did it, right? And he thought, that's so cool. He was all excited.
Yeah, like I don't think I'll have to teach my kids how to drive.
Yeah, that's a separate thing, but I've always wanted to discuss that too. Yeah, that's a topic for another episode, I think. But I kind of agree with you. Maybe not my daughter, but definitely your kids, because you're younger than mine. But yeah, my son, he's 10 now. I don't know. It'll be close, I think.
I think my kids won't have to drive.
No. Yeah. Franklin, before I go and before we end off, well, first of all, tell me if you guys have any stories, because I know it's a tradition to end off with giving me little Tesla stories. But before that, I want to make sure I don't forget people that are watching at home and been watching the whole episode for the last hour and 24 minutes. I've probably been looking at Franklin's screen and wondering, what is that background? So, Franklin, I know you hate this, and I know all the guests hate it, but I'm going to zoom in on you and just you can describe your screen, or maybe read now that it's full screen. People at home can read what it says.
I'll describe
and explain it.
I got you, Dex. So along the bottom, exactly 4 inches, 4 pixels, is a black bar, and there's a banner.
Okay, not that.
So actually, this was a friend who gave me this idea, and it was a dog suntanning on the beach. And then my friend even increased the idea by saying, next up, Earl enjoys the beach before he moves to Alaska." So Earl is moving to Alaska. If you guys don't know Earl, he's the guy who runs Front Puppy Friday, one of like the main guy who started it all. And he's moved to Alaska. So there's just like a joke that he's gonna, yeah,
Has he moved already? He's completed the move.
he's there. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we got to get Earl back on. Earl, if anyone's been a long time watcher and viewer and listener, we've had Earl on a couple times. We got to get him back on for sure. This time, we'll get him back on with a parka. Because that's Earl. Eh? He'll actually do it. He'll go a whole show with wearing a parka, fur hood and everything up. Okay, you guys got any stories? If you don't, that's cool.
I gave so many earlier, so.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe this is not the week for stories, seeing that you guys gave so many accounts already. You know what? I'm going to end it off. It's an hour and 26 minutes. I'm going to end it off in 2 minutes, but let me just say quickly, I almost got killed today. And not because of the car, the fault of the car or anything.
That's unfortunate.
Shut up. I know. You wouldn't be here if I was dead. You wouldn't be on this podcast right now.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate that almost happened, Dax. Why do you think the worst?
Because I know you. No, so I'm driving down a highway, and this giant tractor trailer, I got to get the video because I honked, so I know the dash cam recorded it. I haven't got a chance. I actually totally forgotten until this second. I just remember. So I'm driving in the left lane, and passing this tractor trailer, and I guess for whatever reason, I don't know if he dozed off or he just started drifting, but he started drifting to my lane, and at one point, my right side passenger mirror it felt like, I got to check the video to see, it must have felt like it was 2 inches from his giant front fender, because the tractor trailers, the front cab is like, the fenders are so high up. Like, I thought for sure he was going to hit me. So I swerved. Luckily, there was a shoulder. I swerved over the line onto the shoulder a little bit, and I honked at him. And then you can see him quickly correcting back into the lane. But yeah, I almost died. Because if he had hit me, God knows what would have happened. I know some people at home are thinking, damn it. The guy should have done a better job. Okay. See, if you paid attention, you wouldn't be laughing so late. Dan, where can people find you?
No,
I am on Northern Tesla on Twitter and Northern Tesla on YouTube.
Oh, perfect. And you got obviously more videos coming up?
Yeah, we have videos, FSD videos coming up. Definitely get some good footage of some roundabouts, because apparently I live in the land of roundabouts.
That is true.
Someone from France corrected me today saying, no, France is the land of roundabouts. So yes, I would actually hate to see FSD Beta trying to maneuver a 5 to 6 lane roundabout. That would be intense.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Well, Elon says it's coming to Europe.
Put your car on a boat, Dan, and go test it out. Do it for them. Do it for the community.
What's our guesses for actual timeline for Europe?
Oh yeah, sure. This is an easy one. What year? It's 2022 now. I'd say no earlier than 2024. I'm saying that dead serious, straight faced.
I'll say summer 2023.
I'm going with Dana's answer in the comments. 2 weeks.
And Dana wins the toaster.
We can come back next year and watch this again and see how wrong we are.
Honestly, they're very far out. No earlier than 2025.
Ooh, I thought I was the lone wolf out there.
If it happens, it's going to be severely nerfed.
Like worse than Toronto streetcars.
Yeah, so it might actually go there, but it's not going to be what we have. So I guess my timeline could be wrong. It could be coming this year, but it's not going to be anywhere near this thing. One last question, and then we'll go, and then I'll tell you how to find me. AS.
How do you even know I'm going to ask you?
Because I know I read your mind. He said any spring meets coming up. Yeah, we're going to have.
Yes.
We'll have more details on that.
No, you know what? I'm going to say it right now. for the very limited details I have, because thanks AS for bringing that up, because I would never have thought of mentioning it on the podcast. But I was thinking just a few days ago, and then I bounced it off these guys. I messaged them, and they're all game for it. So details are very sketchy or limited right now, but we will fill it in, and look for us on social media, either on my Facebook groups or Twitter and stuff like that, and we'll fill it in there. Or Franklin, the name of our GTA club is
TeslaGTA.com.
Sign up there, absolutely free. You're not giving anything. It doesn't cost you anything. We don't do anything with your email or anything like that. We don't sell it. Sign up there for no other reason but to get notified of these events that come up, to answer AS's question very, very simply. But we do have, I was thinking a couple days ago that we have a Earth Day coming up on April 22nd. That happens to fall on a Friday. And I figure, that's roughly a little less than a month from now. It's a Friday, so you can't do anything during the actual daytime. Most people are working. So I figured we'll do something in the evening. So we're going to do something in the evening, probably after dinner or supper time. I looked at the calendar online, and it looks like it gets sunsets, if it's a good sunny day, anywhere between 8 or 8:30. So we'll have some decent time of daylight. And don't know the location yet. Don't know the exact time. But if you're in the Greater Toronto area, stay tuned for more. But put that date aside on your calendar, April 22nd, which is Earth Day. So I think it's fitting. We should do, weather permitting and stuff like that, do a nice little meetup there.
Is it a pencil date or a chisel date?
No. We're going to do it. Just I don't know the location yet. Oh, when I said pencil it in? Oh, you're a funny guy. Okay, where can people find you, Franklin?
They can find me on Twitter at mfrunker. They can find me on YouTube at motherfrunker, and all the other social platforms on there too, but I don't really use them. That's all.
Well, then why say them if you don't even use them?
You could still follow me there.
Yeah, but it'd be pointless because they'd be following you for nothing.
What if I return one day?
Are you on Instagram?
I am, yeah.
Are you? Really? I didn't know that. Are you on Twitter? Not Twitter.
I'm on Twitter a little bit now and then.
I know you're on Twitter. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, no.
Snapchat? Buddy, you got to get with it. These are where all the cool kids are. Nobody's in these Twitter and Facebook things anymore.
Anyone in the chat wants to Snapchat me about my car, just leave a comment down below. I'll make one just for you. All right, we're good. I got it covered.
We got it covered. Okay, good. Yeah, you're fine. I'd like to see some TikToks too, by the way. Okay, and I mean, it sounds stupid. I know Franklin always bugs me to do it at the end of the show. There's really no need to say where you can find me, because if you're watching or listening to this, well, I guess if you're listening to the audio version, you may have stumbled across it. Just subscribe to whatever platform you're doing to the podcast, so you can hear it every month that we put it on. And if you want to see this, actually, this debacle in person of what we call a show, then you can get me on YouTube at DaxM. That's DAXM. If you're watching, you already know. But that's Tesla Talks channel. I could have changed it to Tesla Talks, but I just figured I'll just keep it the same. That's my name. I'll just keep it. And with that said, thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in, watching, and listening. And if you have any questions for any Tesla-related things, not even Tesla, any kind of EV, because I like expanding off into different EV things. Paul and I went last week to see the new Lucid in Toronto, and that was great. Did a video of that, and I had fun watching it and making a video on it. So any questions at all regarding EVs, predominantly Tesla, shoot me an email at Tesla Talks Questions. That's Tesla Talks with an S, questions with an S, at gmail.com, and I'll get your question or comment on the next episode, which is every month. Cool? Or you can find me on Twitter under Tesla_Talks, or on Facebook in any of my Tesla groups. I think they're Canadian Model Y and Canadian Model 3 groups. You can sign up there. And if you have any questions, ask me there, and I'll get them on the show. Thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you next month or next time. I shouldn't say next month. It sounds so long. I'll catch you next time here at Tesla Talks podcast. Take care. Bye-bye. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Say bye, guys.
Bye.
I wrote it in the chat.
Are you doing? Sorry, did I interrupt you from your Wordle of the day?
Me? No, I was writing in the chat. Look in the chat. It said bye.
So here's a Tesla story before we go.
Oh my God!
When you start with Tesla as your first word, you're not going to lose. Did I just blow your mind, Dax? Are you speechless right now?
No, I'm just wondering if this is related to Wordle.
It is. Use Tesla as your first Wordle. You're knocking off E, A, T, and L. You'll get a lot of. It works. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
There you have it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.